depends on where your back is.
Just do it, just like.
Shush.
So I'll start with this thing. Going back to, this is kind of a while ago, but as always, oh yeah, I'll do the whole thing. Thanks. Some really interesting features here. 3 times around the walls of Ilium, he dragged Hector, and he was selling, ooh, this is interesting, the lifeless body for gold. Achilles was, so subject here, verb, and direct object, Hector and the corpus. So they're, what am I trying to say? One's replacing the other, Hector the body. Yeah, so yeah, in the myth, Achilles kills Hector and keeps the body, and then Priam sneaks through enemy lines at night, and he actually buys back his son's body from Achilles. He's unarmed, and Achilles at first threatens to kill him, and then, in a very touching scene, Priam says to Achilles, remember your father, who's aging and alone back in your home country, and have pity on me. And then Achilles cries, right, because our ancient warriors are criers, and he does sell the body back. So all of this is happening on the wall of the temple. Okay. Oops. Oh, right. I have to put in the little thing. Yes.
Whoa.
Here, we've got a whole lot of, oh gosh, sorry. Let me just put my little ruler in here. I'll go back. There it is. So this one's got a lot of nice poetry in it. It's got some repetition. We've got, what. So that's an aphora. And you're just creating this list of direct objects here. The spolia, cudus, and corpus. And that last corpus is, of course, the body of his friend. That's Hector. And then here, Priamum, that's the final direct object. And it's got this present active participle modifying it. And of course, the direct object of the participle is in the hoagie between the two slices of bun, Priamum and tendentum. Beautiful word order there, yeah?
So is the direct, like, is it P-A-P, ten,
That's right. From tenta, to stretch out. He's pleading with Achilles here, just as he does in the Iliad. So all these scenes are taken directly out of the Iliad. And as we said before, it's an ekphrasis, so it's a little piece of art within a piece of art. And of course, Priamum, he comes in Ares. He has no guards and no weapons. He sneaks through the enemy lines. All right. Se quoque acknowledge. He recognizes himself. So now, Aeneas, the warrior, the live warrior, looks at the wall and sees himself inside the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a character in a poem looking at a sculpture and recognizing himself, the character, in the sculpture. Bazoinga.
Wow.
Am I wrong? Yeah. And her next to PPP there. We got all these DOs here. All this stuff he's seeing on the walls. And here, the battle lines from the east, and this is interesting, the arms of Black Memnon. This is the only mention of skin pigmentation in the poem, and one of the rare mentions of it in classical literature. So you can see this, it's just not a really prominent thing in their minds. But yeah, Memnon was an African chief, so he did have black skin. Ducit Amazonum Penthesilea. So here's your subject. This character, she's leading, and this is an all-female brigade, right? These Amazones. I think the derivation of the word Amazon is, and this is kind of weird, a single breast, because supposedly they cut one breast off so that they could shoot arrows more like accurately.
What?
It sounds bizarre, right? It sounds bizarre.
Wait, what word means that? What word means that?
When you shoot a bow, you really are sideways, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, Mr. Pierce, what word means one breast?
Yeah.
Amazon.
Oh, is that where Amazon comes from? Like the Amazons?
Yeah, Amazon means breast.
Oh.
Amazon is just
The more you know, they're one-breasted. That's the thing.
Angle kind of, so that the drawing
I
line
know.
is like right here.
I agree.
Yeah. The other one has to be on.
Who's so easily be a fake derivation?
Sorry, I just
Later, I think what's important here is we're
No, you're told that was how it's crazy good.
we're actually leading right up to the entrance of Dido. So we're going to see this character, Penthesilea. And just as Dido enters, she's going to be compared to Diana. And of course, before we had the huntress in the forest, who was actually Aphrodite or Venus, right? Dressed up as a huntress. So we have all these sort of premonitions of Dido, this strong huntress maiden who's a leader too. And she's an artist, she burns. And
She burns.
always look for similes and metaphors of burning in the Iliad, because of course we have burning cities, we have burning love, and Virgil keeps that boundary pretty ambiguous deliberately. All right, and here she is. This is Penthesilea. She's on the wall. Aeneas is looking at this sculpture, and she's here's a present active participle. She's binding up this golden girdle under her exposed breast. So I guess it's like you tie it up here, so one breast is clothed and one is exposed, and you get a nice A-B.
I thought she only had one.
A little bit of synthesis.
I thought
Well, according to the derivation of Amazon,
Mhm.
but I think that's kind of a later add-on.
Okay.
In fact, you have to watch out, that particular derivation might be dependent on this misinterpretation of this line.
Hmm.
And this is a real beaut. As a warrior, she dares to run with the men as a maiden. So the line begins with her as a Bellatrix, a warrioress, a woman warrior, and the line ends with Weirdo, her role as a maiden, unmarried woman. An unmarried woman is still free of the confinement of the patriarchy. So that's an important word. And we have before it Wearis. So we have a little bit of a assonance alliteration between weir is and weird go. We'll play on words there. Wearis concurrere virgo. So she's just as good as those men. Alrighty. So you've got some new lines to read. We're going to finish up looking at the wall, and Dido's going to enter. Very interesting part. I'll leave you to it. Where do we start? Oh, you can stop.